Hi students, I have some urgent and important information about our PAWS discussion requirements, and you are responsible for this information, so please pay careful attention. Okay, we've hit our first bump in the road. These things happen. How did you handle it? Do you even know what it was? Well, one of your classmates does, and I'm thankful because it could have cost you all some points if this person had not spoken up. So how did you handle it? Okay, here's what the error was. It was with Unit 1 discussion, and you read some of the assignment requirements, okay? But when the course was cloned means it was copied, the two threads of the discussion were not copied, okay? The directions did clearly indicate that you are required to make 2 posts. This should have maybe given you a little bit of a red flag. And the instructions that were in red text require that you open the thread and post under the thread to make to earn your points, to make points, to earn points. Okay. Now some students tried to push through, but those postings, I want to say this as we go forward. I realize that you were working without proper instruction, without proper information that you would have seen, but I also want you to understand going forward that those posts would not have been considered acceptable, okay? I'm not trying to embarrass anybody because you did the best that you could in a bad situation, but what I am saying is I want to be clear that they would not have met the standard that I'm looking for, okay? Now, only one student reached out to me and said, wait a minute, you said to make 2 posts. You said something about threads I don't understand. This student has earned bonus points, folks. So, you know, this is a leadership class, and I feel that it's very appropriate for you to speak up. Now, this doesn't mean that you ask questions anytime, you know, it's any little nothing. I'm trying to think of something. If I misspell the word the, you know, you don't need to ask a question about a misspelled word the. But when there's something that prevents you from completing an assignment, yeah, you know, 2 posts, and then you see this red text. Okay, so I appreciate this student, and I think you should too, because like I said, the instructions in the red text very clearly said you would not earn points for starting a new thread. So when you started a new thread, you know, you would have ended up in some hot water there. Okay, oops. All right, so let's go forward. So what do we do now? Well, regarding the Unit 1 discussion only, how are we going to handle the grading of the Unit 1 discussion? Well, those who participate will earn points if, and only if, you demonstrate to me that you understand this concept of 2 threads, okay? So here's what I have done. The system did not copy the 2 threads, so I have now put those 2 threads out there. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use the 2 threads. You're going to see that I've already done this once before, but I wanted to do it again and be a little bit more concise. So I'm going to demonstrate it to you. You will know the correct way, and you'll be responsible for that. This video will serve as a reference in case you get confused later on, okay? So maybe this is all for the best because it turns out to be a little bit of a practice. But I want you to practice in the correct way, okay? Now, that's how we're going to grade the Unit 1 discussion, but what about all the upcoming unit discussions? So regarding the next unit discussion and all subsequent discussions, you're responsible for using the method that I'm going to demonstrate to you here in just a moment, and you are responsible in your posts for demonstrating your knowledge and following the instructions. This is in the syllabus. This is in the post instructions, and so I am going to be looking for you to do that. Okay, so we did, oops. Let me get back to this. My screen kind of shut down. We did hit our first bump in the road. So now let's start trying to bridge the gap, okay? Things will go smoother, but it's not uncommon for even a class that you have in a classroom. Periodically, things go wrong. So be sure you follow the assignment instructions. And also, folks, you can, I'm okay with you asking questions. you know, I want you to understand the balance that I'm trying to achieve, because I do know that online students can sometimes get frustrated, and sometimes that frustration leads to, I'm going to ask a question like every 30 seconds because you get kind of angry, okay? Don't go down that road. None of you have, and I understand that. You were trying to make the best of a bad situation, and you are not going to be harmed for it. In fact, the points are going to go towards your favor, but I do want to make sure that we're all, you know, working together off the same page as we go forward. Okay? Okay, so let me do this. Here we are in PAWS. I've logged in my student test account that you'll see as Z McGrory. The only thing I use this for is to kind of practice and demonstrate some things like this. You see the class introductions there. You've posted that. That's really great. And now here we are with the Unit 1 discussion. Now you may enter into the discussion postings via the link that I provided for you in content. Lots of ways to get here. So let's do this. I'm going to click on Unit 1 discussion. And I know this is familiar to you. You read these instructions. My computer is very slow. I apologize. Okay, you read these instructions. And it says, here's what you got to do. You got to read. You got to complete this activity. You have to complete this other activity. And then you need to watch this movie. Okay? And then to earn points, you are expected to make 2 postings. Each posting must be placed under the correct thread in the discussion. Here comes the red text. So be sure that you click to open the thread. What thread, right? Before you make a discussion. Otherwise, you will not earn any points for all that hard work. And I don't want to give you a 0 if you've worked hard, but I will unless you can organize your discussion correctly. So it's very important for you to pay attention. Okay, now, many of you clicked on this Start a New Thread button. Wrong, because what exactly are you supposed to be doing? And that's the question you asked yourself. And when you read all this, 2 postings, open a new, thread, and all this, you won't earn points, a little red flag should have gone up. And you've got to have enough confidence to ask for help, okay, which one of your classmates did. Now, here's what was not available that should have been available, but the system just didn't copy it. It happens, okay? You will see 2 posts from now on. Every discussion that you open, you're going to see 2 postings. And for example, you can see how they appear is going to depend on how you have it sorted. This gives the different ways that you can sort your discussions, okay? So what we have in the movie 12 O'Clock High is Colonel Davenport. He exhibits one style of leadership, and General Savage, and he delivers another style of leadership. So let me come back over here, because you will earn points if and only if you post something in the 2 threads. I want to be really clear. So right now, everybody has a 0. Everybody has a 0 because you have not posted into the correct place. Now, here's the trade-off. I am not holding you to a high caliber of content. I just want to make sure that you understand how to post into the proper thread. So I'm going to start off. You're going to have to do this twice now. I'm going to start off with Unit 1, Part 2 of 2, General Savage, and I'm going to click that. This is what should have been available to you so that you could click it. Okay, now here's the instructions that you were missing. In your second post, you will discuss the following by replying to this thread. See the Reply to Thread button? Okay, compare your leadership style and the personality style with that of General Savage's. Pick one characteristic that you have in common and explain how this characteristic is a strength, a weakness, or both. That's what I was looking for. Okay, now notice the additional instructions that I will expect you in the future to read. You must demonstrate understanding. Saying something like A, B, C, D, E, F, G is my leadership style does not demonstrate understanding. So I would be looking for you to demonstrate your understanding. As a student, you are graded based on your mastery of what you're reading, and then you see the videos, the movies, and that's where you're going to see it in action. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be looking for, and that's in the syllabus, of course, also. don't retell the story. You know, you'll lose points for postings that don't demonstrate your knowledge. You have to use proper capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. And of course, be respectful. So here is an example that I posted earlier. And this is all that I'm saying. This is an example of where the second post would be made. Let me demonstrate this again. I'm going to click on Reply to Thread because I'm replying up there. Now, if you'd like, I'll say this is another example of a post. If you want to put a subject title, and maybe I would say something like, my leadership style is very similar to General Savage in that blah, 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 right? You would explain. Again, students, this is a demonstration of how you would post to the thread. Okay, so this is just a little example. Here we go. And I'm going to click on Post, and I want you to see the end result. Okay, now I just have it, you know, in my sort, your sort information may be different, but you see how these are threading, if that's a new term for you, they're threading underneath here. Okay, now what do I do? Because I know I had to make two. Well, here it says Unit 1, or I can go back to View Topic. And again, you can review the instructions, and this time I'm going to come down to Part 1. I just happened to do Part 2 first. Maybe I should have done Part 1 first. Okay. In my first post, I should discuss the following by replying. Compare my leadership style to Colonel Davenport. Last time it was Commander Savage. This time Colonel Davenport. Pick a characteristic that you have in common. Talk about strength, weakness, both. Demonstrate understanding. Lose points for retelling the story. Lose points for not demonstrating your understanding. Proper capitalization, proper punctuation, proper grammar. You get the gist. Okay, you see that here somebody, in this case it happens to be me, has already clicked. What am I supposed to do? Reply to this thread. So here I go. I'm replying to this thread. This is a post in the proper place. Now you're going to do this too. Otherwise, students, maybe I couldn't spell correctly. Make sure that you post 2 times, once under each thread, to earn points. Okay? All right. So so I'm going to leave it at that. I'll go ahead and sign my name there so that you'll know. You see some of the options that you have to subscribe to the thread, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to click on Post. One quick note, please do not attach things to the discussion board. It really is unnecessary. It makes it difficult on your class boards. It's not really how the a discussion board is supposed to work. So just simply type something. Make sure your spelling and grammar and punctuation is correct. I'm going to click on Post. Okay, see how it goes there? Now, here's what I have been busy doing. See that you have these upcoming discussions. So let's say that I'm going to click on this Units 2 and 3 discussion. This is a combination work. Now, once again, these had not yet been copied. When they cloned, remember clone means to copy, the course, these did not come through. So I have already put these out there for the Unit 2 and 3 discussion, which opens Saturday, and you will be able to click on these and to then reply to these, okay, starting Saturday, January 31st. So now we have those. I will, of course, also manually copy those to your other discussions. Folks, if you want to earn points, you will not earn any points if you do not reply to these threads. Very, very important, okay? I am sorry, this was a system error. As I said, this is, the best way to describe it. It was a bump in the road. So what we need to do now is you just need to make sure that you understand what I just demonstrated, that you follow those instructions, and that going forward, you do everything you're supposed to do to earn those points. If you have questions, you can use the PAWS email to contact me, and I think things will go much more smoothly going forward. This is a great class. I know it's a lot of work, but leadership is a really cool topic, and I think you'll learn a lot about yourself if you're watching the movies, if you're doing the reading, if you're doing the quizzes, and if you're thoughtfully posting into the discussion board in a way that allows you. When you demonstrate your knowledge to me, you're probably going to be pulling it all together in your own mind, and that's what I'm looking for. You're going to get as much out of this, folks, as you're willing to invest into it. In becoming a leader in any personal development cycles, we're all learning, right? None of us are the perfect leader. I think there've only been one perfect one, right? And none of us are that person. Okay, so what I'm saying is, we all have to work at it, and if you're not willing to do that, then you won't get anything out of the class. Your grade, of course, will reflect it, but I think more importantly, it'll be a lost opportunity. And I hope that you develop the passion for this that I have for this course. It is a learning process. And so, anyway, so I wish you the best of luck. I hope this helps, and we'll be talking again very soon. Thank you so much, folks.